Hello Cinnamon Bun. Let's talk about resistance. Let's talk about when your brain does not want to let you sit down and do a writing session for whatever reason. Let's talk about how you can actually do writing sessions, writing sprints, whatever you want to call it, even when your brain is saying no, because mine does that a lot. I'm also excited to be partnering with For the Words for this video. For the Words is an RPG for writers where you embark on a journey and use your word count to defeat monsters. It's the most fun way that I found to build a daily writing streak. And now is a great time to give it a go because they've just launched their new site at forthewords.com, and NaNoWriMo on For the Words is kind of like Christmas. There are special monsters, global challenges, and extremely important accessories to win for your avatar. You will find a coupon code in the description below, so go and fight some word monsters. Let's start by talking a little bit about perfectionism and resistance. I am a chronic perfectionist. I get so much mental resistance to writing, it's not even funny. I mean, it is kind of a little funny because it's like, I've decided to be a novelist. I've written and published a novel. I've been working on this novel for about 4 years. And my brain is like, the last thing on earth that we should do right now is write. Just warning you. In some ways, writing is a mental battle. It all happens in your mind before anything happens on the page. So finding ways to wrangle your mind can be really crucial. I still struggle with it. I'm not going to pretend I don't. I will not pretend that my mind just falls in line with whatever I've decided is actually important for me to do. But I have found some things that work. You might have noticed that I love metaphors, because I use about 17 of them in every video. So I'm going to explain why I love metaphors using metaphors. I'm going to do some metaphors, if you will. Metaphors can be like mental handholds. They can be something for us to hang on to when there's nothing else. They can also be like containers for concepts that we wouldn't otherwise easily understand. They can be like keys because they can help unlock new areas of our minds. Metaphors can be like the key which allows us to move forward, which allows us to shift our mindset and make progress. So in this video, I'm going to share 2 really powerful metaphors which have helped me in my writing. These are mindset shifts that help you move through perfectionism, take the pressure off, and actually get the work done. But maybe there is a different metaphor which illuminates things for you, which really helps you clear a path and actually sit your butt down and write. And that's amazing. The first metaphor or framework that I want to talk about are novel stops. You might have heard me mention these before. In the last few years, I have realised that I almost always hate the first few minutes of writing. My mind isn't warmed up, I'm too in my head about it, I'm really critical of everything I'm doing, I can't just get into the work and get into flow, and often all I want to do is stop. I just want to do something else. And often just knowing that that's what that is going to be like is enough to make me not even write at all. And there is a technical term for this part of a writing session, and it is called the fuck this phase. The fuck this phase of a writing session is the worst. You feel clunky, you feel like the dumbest person on earth, you can't get into the groove, you don't remember why you're doing this at all. The thing that holds us back is the idea that what we're meant to be doing in the fuck this phase is doing good work, writing good words. Your job in the fuck this phase is not to do good work. It's just to keep working. It's to survive the fuck this phase. Just keep on working no matter what the quality is of what you're producing. And to see if your awesome writer self is going to show up after the fuck this phase. You can think of your amazing writer self as your subconscious, or your muse, or even just the version of you that writes the best stuff, the stuff that you're really proud of, the stuff that you love. Because there is stuff that you love and are proud of, even if it's small, within your work. So here are some things that you should know about your amazing writer self. They basically never show up before the fuck this phase. They will often show up if you continue to work past the fuck this phase. Sometimes they will stay there hanging over your shoulder for a whole writing session. Everything you do will be awesome. Sometimes they'll pop in for a single sentence and then fuck off. they will never show up before you. They will only show up if you go to your novel and wait for them. And I'm not using the word wait to mean sitting around twiddling your thumbs. Waiting at your novel is working on your novel. Here's where the novel stop idea comes in. I love the idea, the image of my novel as a bus stop. Specifically, there's something magical about imagining it like the bus stop in My Neighbor Totoro, in the rain. It's just mystical. The bus stop is your novel. Maybe the rain is the fuck this phase. So you have to go there with your umbrella and wait in the rain through the fuck this phase, and your amazing writer self will probably meet you there. She is never going to be there first. You are never going to show up and she's already there. It's your job to show up and wait for her, because she will know you are there, and often she will come out and meet you. And sometimes the rain will clear. That is your job. Go to the novel stop and wait and work. Your job is not to write good. It's not even to fix this particular problem or this sentence or this paragraph or this plot hole. It's just to work on it. Now, a novel stop for me is 20 minutes. If I do 20 minutes of work on my novel, then I have gone to the novel stop and I've waited there. The reason I do 20 minutes is because 20 minutes seems to be the limit for me thinking that something is a big deal or a lot of work for some reason. It's a sweet spot. It's a little bit longer than my average fuck this phase, but not by much. It's enough time to actually get something done, but it's not so much that it's intimidating or that I can easily make excuses not to do it. So I recommend starting with 20 minutes for a novel stop. If you find that something else actually works better for you, then of course you can adjust from there. And you can also give your novel stops an extra boost by tracking them, saying, this is how many novel stops I've completed in a week or a month. That's a big achievement. If you do some, that's good. You can also set rewards for yourself. You can say, after 5 novel stops, I get a reward. Okay, now let's talk about something else. Monster battles. So here's another framework, another metaphor for writing sessions. Now this is specifically about drafting. For the Words, who are sponsoring this video, also create a mindset shift around writing, which is really useful. Through monster battles. Here are some of the monsters that you meet quite early on in For the Words. There's the Arachni, which you can defeat by writing 800 words in 80 minutes. There's a Wigno, which you can defeat by writing 250 words in 30 minutes. And the Tana, which you can defeat by writing 1100 words in 130 minutes. So each word sprint in For the Words is a battle against a monster, putting you as a writer into a kind of hero mode. These work really well for me because I am stubborn and competitive. If I start a battle, if I start a writing sprint on For the Words, because there's suddenly a foe that I'm working against, my brain is suddenly like, no, we are not losing this. And I found that I can actually get a lot more words done than I would have otherwise. And I find drafting to be especially difficult, so forcing me to be less of a perfectionist about my prose is really helpful. Battles stay fresh and interesting with new monsters, and the more battles you do, the more loot you collect, the more you get to explore the world, and the further you get to progress through the For the Words story. So it creates this really awesome feedback loop of positive reinforcement, which keeps you motivated about moving through your own story and writing the words. You don't have to pick one metaphor or framework and stick to that either. The monster battle framework in For the Words works wonderfully for drafting. The novel stops framework is more open-ended and time-based, so it's really good for other things like brainstorming, novel crafting, outlining, everything that's not writing new words, revision, editing, etc. And you can also just switch it up depending on how you're feeling, like what your mental landscape is that day. One day, thinking of yourself as a daring hero wielding your pen as a sword will be really motivating and feel badass and get you really far. Other days, maybe you just feel like you want to be a bit gentle to yourself, and the novel stop framework just feels a bit more inspiring and compassionate. So I hope you give some of these a go. And that's it. This video is part of Preptober, a month-long festival of pumpkin spice NaNoWriMo prep and novel craft. The best way to get your hands on every drop drop of Preptober goodness, including our printable Preptober checklist and our Preptober resource tree, is to sign up for emails. So if you go and do that, we will shine some noveling light in your inbox. Oh yeah, and if you have metaphors like this, frameworks which you find just help click your brain into getting the work done and kind of like help you punch through some mental resistance, please do share them in the comments below, because I would love to hear the other ways that people do this. Okay, talk to you soon. Bye. Okay, I got tea. Hello. Okay, we can do this. We can do it. Just get all the blood rushing into my face so that it clashes with my lipstick. That's the plan. I like that I just don't even have an intro for this video.